Have you ever heard being dished by own blood relation father? Yes, fate played such an unfair game with me. But before getting into the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting and suspenseful couple stories. My name is Jerry. I'm 22 years old. My mother has been died when I was 9 years old due to brain cancer. My mother got brain cancer because of overthinking. I remember when I was a kid, my dad's behavior was really bad towards my mother. My father used to have many girlfriends, even they used to do sleepover with my dad in our own house. After my mother's death, my father had become more abusive and irresponsible than before. A great thank you to my grandmother. I remember she used to take care of me and raised me. When I entered my teenage, I became responsible enough to deal with my matters or even carry out my own expenses by doing an online job. But my father's lack of attention and interest towards me was constant. There were 4 people in the house, me, my grandmother, my father and our maid. Once we all gathered around the table and was eating dinner together. Meanwhile, my dad received a call from someone and rapidly left the dinner. It seemed like he had received an urgent call, as that day his favorite soup had made, and he never skipped it like this before. After done with the dinner, when I was going out at my room, I heard some sounds like if someone is on call or talking to someone. When I noticed, I realized that my father is still on call with someone. Her accent and way of conversation was really like he was with a lady. Well, I went to my room and began to do my online project. The next morning when I got up and went to eat breakfast, I found my father everywhere in the house. Even my grandmother was looking for him. She was very anxious for him and was waiting for his call, but he did not respond. It was about 2 p.m. of the noon when my father reached along with a beautiful girl with him. She seemed like in an age of 25 to 30. She was really pretty. She was wearing a revealing dress. I remember she was having a very vibrant handbag, as she was continuously showing off that bag. When we asked him about that girl, he replied that she is his girlfriend. We were shocked to see this all, as she was quite young and pretty. I thought she must be the sugar baby of my dad. Although my father was such a miserable person for me because he used to humiliate me most of the time while giving money, so I always tried to hesitate and did not ask for money to him. But when it comes to his girlfriends, he loves to blow money on them and gifting them branded gifts. My father declared us that his girlfriend Jasmine would live with her there at the same house. He even asked me to vacate my room and shift to the back rooms. I got really hurt that day, as for my father, his girlfriend is important more than me. My grandmother was really against my father and her girlfriend, as she did not want a young lady to stay like this. But obviously all the authorities belonged to my father and he did not consider anyone's opinion. The same night when I was going to park the car on garage, I caught a sight on my father's girlfriend. She was standing in the gallery and was looking down. When she saw me, she gave me the devilish smile. I really did not consider her and went back to my room. It was about 3 a.m. of night when I was doing my online work on the laptop. My room's light was obviously on her, but the door was closed. I felt like someone is wandering here and there outside my room. I unlocked the door in order to check out, but there was no one. It was really a scary thing, but I ignored and slept. Next morning, when we all were eating breakfast as usually, my father ordered very delicious breakfast for his girlfriend. He did not even ask us to take a single bite, but I remember her young girlfriend was asking me seductively to eat. My father was totally crazy in his girlfriend's love. I remember it was my birthday, but my father did not wish me, even he must not remember my birthday as usual. However, it was really perplexing when my father's girlfriend sent me a happy birthday text on Instagram. I don't know from where she got my account. I was really immersed in the thoughts that she saw me first time yesterday and now on the second day she got my IG account and sending messages. Well, I replied her thank you. She quickly replied, "Sweetheart, you're my baby." I did not know what she is actually wanting. Might be she wanted to act as the best mom. Her activities were really cringy, like it was beyond my understanding. Her personality was really so mysterious and fake. She was indeed a dark horse. My dad was so immersed in her love that he used to take her on restaurants and big malls on almost daily basis. She was becoming stubborn day by day as my father's unconditional love and care has made her extraordinarily confident. One day when I was extremely occupied in accomplishing my university project, meanwhile, my door knocked. I did not notice and thought it might be our maid outside in order to give me a cup of coffee, but as I was so swamped, I did not open the door. Next morning, I even apologized to our maid for this act, but she told me that she did not knock at my door last night. It was something really strange. The next night when I was taking cold shower, meanwhile again someone knocked at my door. I hurriedly opened the door and shocked to see my father's girlfriend outside of my room. I asked her what happened. She replied that she wanted to have a headache medicine. I asked her, "Are you all right?" She entered in my room and put her head on my bed's center and then said, "Actually, no." I was literally frightened as well to see her like this. Well, then I gave her a medicine and then she left my room. The way she behaved was stimulating. Even the next night, what she did to me was really shocking. I exactly remember it was my calculus test. I was looking for my scientific calculator in the cupboard. Meanwhile, I felt like someone is coming from backside. I obviously did not consider. Suddenly, someone hugged me from back. I was like properly trapped, and when I looked behind, I was shocked to see my father's girlfriend hugging me like that. She was wearing a hot black colored revealing nightdress. I furiously asked her what happened. "Are you in your senses?" She replied, "Yes, I actually do not deserve your old father." She began to show herself to me and said, "Look, I'm actually for you." She tried her best to seduce me, but all in vain. The next day when I was doing my calculus paper, my father's girlfriend behavior last night was continuously popping up in my mind. I did not know, but that thing was really kinda upset for me. As usual, the next night she again reached my room and was wearing a red-colored lingerie. She again compelled me for being physical with her. I literally denied her many times and cleared her that you are for money, and I obviously could not afford you and ditch my father. She came very close to me in order to make me high. This time she revealed something shocking. I bet she revealed this all unintentionally and just as a point to force me for a relationship with her. She said, "Baby, don't you know all the property and business actually belongs to you, as it was actually of your late mother?" Shh, no one knows this. I secretly read it all. Please, now have a relationship with me. Now you can afford me. After hearing her words, I was literally shocked. I had no words and asked her to get out of my room. What she said to me was continuously popping up in my mind. So, to be honest, I was having no intention to take over my property, as I really used to respect my father and did not want to hurt him. I decided to tell about my father's girlfriend's intention to him to make him realize how materialistic and slut she is. The next day, when my father was reading the newspaper, I went to him in order to aware him of his wife's intention, but unfortunately, she was sitting with him, so I decided to talk to him when she was not with him. Well, soon I got the chance to talk to my father and said him clearly, and his wife is not a good lady. She's just hungry for money. I further told him that your wife wanted to have physical relationship with me as she thinks that you are old. After hearing this, my father gazed at me with his bulging eyes and slapped me. My eyes were literally full of tears. He yelled on me and began to shout angrily and said, "Shame on you. Shame on a son like you. Are you getting jealous with your own father and creating this false story? Get lost. At least you should show me some regard for what I've done for you." My father's attitude was really painful for me. Like seriously, he used to have more trust on his slut girlfriend who is not even ready to marry him than me. Although I wanted to yell back, but I decided to take a revenge and catch my father's girlfriend red-handed to embrace him. I made a fantastic plan, but first it was necessary for me to know how about my property. I went to our family lawyer and appealed him to keep my matter confidential. The lawyer told me that before dying, my mother did this all for me. Actually, it was property of my mother's father who gave her later. she gave me. Literally, tears trickled down my cheeks after hearing every abusive behavior my father did to my mother. I came to know even that day that actually my father did not consider me as his own son. He even used to call my mother as a slut. I was literally burning with revenge, but I remained steadfast and quiet. I'm sure that my father's girlfriend would surely come tonight as well, so I fixed a camera pen on my room to record my father's girlfriend activities. I was waiting for her, but she did not come. It was about 2 p.m. when my door began to knock. I hurriedly opened the door and shocked to see my father. He was all drunk and angrily began to blackmail. It seemed like he was there for proper fighting. While fixing his shirt, he said to me, "Listen, if you'll again pass a look to my girlfriend, then I'll definitely give you no part from my property. Remember, you are living on my own pieces." Then he left and with great force closed the door. I literally began to cry that night. It was a nightmare. My father must not be aware that I already knew that actually all property belonged to me. I remember that night my heart was very heavy. So I went to my grandmother's room. She asked me the reason for my anxiety. I hugged her and asked, "Grandma, is this true that on my birth my father was not accepting me as his son?" After hearing my words, she looked down and patted on my shoulder. "Jerry, your mother indeed suffered a lot. Your father is not either a good son or a good father." Everything was continuously appearing in my mind. I remember I did not even sleep that night as my childhood's flashback was continuously popping up in my mind. I wanted to catch up my father's girlfriend red-handed. It was now my only ambition. I decided to invite her at a restaurant and make her video that time, but later I disagreed with my idea as it was really risky. Well, I kept waiting for her for about 2 nights. Finally, on the 3rd night, when I was reading the property notes thoroughly, my door began to knock. I randomly threw the property papers under my bed. I was sure it was my father's girlfriend, so I hurriedly on the camera in order to record my father's girlfriend reality. When I opened the door, I was shocked to see her wearing such a red color revealing dress. She again began to seduce me, said the same words that she is tired of my old dad and wanted to have me, etc. I did not respond her and ask her to go outside. She began to make fun of me that I have no value in front of my father. I kept tolerance and asked her to get out. The next morning, when everyone was doing breakfast, meanwhile, lawyers reached to our house. Everyone was shocked to see them at our house. My father and his girlfriend was like fish out of water. The lawyer made my father crystal clear that the owner of the house, who is your own son, is claiming to have only authority over the whole house. So you all have to leave. My father angrily looked at me and in a fit of fury said, "Damn, you?" I showed him the video I made last night of his girlfriend. He literally began to sweat as soon as his girlfriend realized that she has now no part in the house anymore, and obviously her truth had been revealed. She looked at her handbag, said bye, and then left. My father bended his knees and began to scream on his girlfriend's cheating. He began to apologize me and requested me to keep him there at the house. I simply declared him that the way he humiliated me and ignored me since childhood not worth forgiving. I even made him crystal clear that I am well aware of what he did with my mother and why she got cancer. I asked my father to leave the home. I even told him that I will send him the payment monthly for his expenses, but I did not want to live with him. He, while regretting, left the home. What would you do if you got the same situation?